What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? It's your boy Rio Robinson, back with the latest and greatest from the Rambling with Rio YouTube channel, where we ramble about our Washington Commanders, and we have made it. It is now the Christmas day of the NFL offseason, where the offseason concludes and training camp begins. Day one of Washington Commanders training camp from Ortho Virginia Training Center at Commanders Park has commenced. First practice of the year is in the books, started about 9 a.m., and we made it, y'all. We made it on the other side, and football is returning to this country at a time where it needs it most. Let's get to it. You know, the first few days of training camp, we're all ears. Like, no fans are present. It's all everything we hear and see comes from the media and from guys like Zach Selby, who personally work for the team, who daily post his training camp like vlogs and notebook and tallies up how the day goes. So we're just going to talk about what we see based on everything we're hearing. Jayden Daniels had himself quite the first practice. Love to see it. Interesting. Marcus Mariota took the first snaps during team drills, but I'm not going to take too much from that. He's the vet. It may be like a veteran camaraderie type thing with the team. But first things first that I noticed, whenever training camp is in town in Ashburn, players typically just come from home and drive to practice. But what Dan Quinn is doing, based on John Combs' tweet, the players are staying off-site together at a nearby resort. This is the first time they've done that since Richmond. Richmond camp, obviously, since we're coming out of town as a full collective, guys stayed at a team hotel. We have not done that since we moved camp back to Ashburn. Dan Quinn says it's for chemistry, connections, and for meetings. It keeps organization together. He calls it an important time together to have everyone close by and pay dividends. So the team is staying off-site together at a hotel, and they're making their way over to Ortho Virginia Training Center at Commanders Park for Commanders practices to start the day. And just scroll up Zach Selby's Twitter. That's pretty much what our updates consist of for the most part, because even the media, the beat writers, they're not giving us too much outside of what we're gonna get from Zach Selby's tweets. I see it wasn't even a sunny day out in Ashburn. It looked kind of doom and gloom, but I bet the players are not mad at the fact that the sun was not scathing or beating down on them. He said Mariota is taking the first snaps in team drills. Cornelius Lucas and not Brandon Coleman took the first snaps on the left tackle side of the offensive line. Nice move by Luke McCaffrey on a pass from Marcus Mariota. Made a second defender miss before moving down the sideline to the end zone. I'm guessing this is red zone drill. Jayden Daniels in 7-on-7 reps. He went 3 for 4 and a run and a touchdown throw to Zach Ertz. And he said he's starting 7-on-7. Touchdown for the offense. Casimir Allen makes a diving grab from Daniels. One play later, John Bates powers forward for another touchdown. So back-to-back plays of touchdowns for Jayden Daniels. And then Jayden opens up team drills with a touchdown to Brian Robinson in the corner of the end zone. And I've seen multiple beat reporters post about this one. I think it was a corner route or something to Brian Robinson. We'll probably get a highlight of that before the day is over. Another touchdown from so multiple touchdowns to Casimir Allen today from Jayden Daniels. Not the duo we expected going into training camp, Jayden Daniels and Casimir Allen. And shout out to Kaz, because Kaz was a guy we were excited about when we brought him in as an undrafted free agent last year. We gave him some expectations as a returner. He better make some things shake, because the kick returner position is open. His hands were very inconsistent during preseason and camp last year. Maybe he can make some things happen, but I think for the most part, we got Jayden having a good day. But the big news out of Ashburn today is the news about Jer'Zhan Johnny Newton. Johnny Newton has been activated to the active roster. Big surprise to everyone. We didn't know how much time he was going to miss. We didn't know how much time he was going to miss at all. But according to JP Finley, this is a good sign. This is a good sign. This is how you know this is not the Ron Rivera age of media gaffes, yada, yada, yada. You know how Ron and company handled everything. But JP Finley says, the first injury situation of the Adam Peters, Dan Quinn era seems like we got told the truth. No missteps, no talking around the truth, none of that bullshit. They told us exactly what was going on. While the team didn't provide a specific timeline for Jer'Zhan Johnny Newton, they remained optimistic about second-round pick Jer'Zhan Newton and downplayed the foot issue. And sure enough, he opens the camp on the active roster, and he practiced day one. Meanwhile, Efe Obada is going to start on the PUP, which is to be expected after having a bad leg fracture late season last year. But what beautiful news to start training camp. All of Washington's draft picks are healthy, ready to go, and out there on the field to start training camp. The quarterback looks the part on day one. I'm hearing flashes from Casimir Allen, Luke McCaffrey. Mariota takes the field first. There's not much to go off of today. I mean, we can scroll around and see what else everybody's talking about, but for the most part, you're going to get a very brisk, slow walk-through type of day. You're just getting your beak wet. You're getting everybody out there moving around, and you just go off of what the beat reporters are talking about for day one. I know it's very nice to hear a quarterback early in camp having his praises sung, because we've had some guys come in here who did not even look good in practice. Didn't even look good in practice. Like Ben Standing said, early fade for pass highlighted by the team's Twitter account today. Jayden Daniels tossed a perfectly placed 20-plus yard lob to Brian Robinson in the corner of the end zone. We got some footage of Ken Norton Jr. working with the backers down here. It's a new day, man. I know the players are very happy that it's not too hot out there today. Johnny Newton working an individual drill. I doubt they're going to just throw him out there in team drill to start camp. They're going to probably slowly work him into it, have him on a pass count. I'm not sure he plays too much in the preseason, but him being activated and practicing off rip is very exciting. Ben Standing said expect a slow ramp up for the second round pick, seeing as he's been sidelined for weeks, but he returned much earlier than expected. Those Jones fractures are not going to be a problem, and he's ready to make the league reap what they sow, because he should have been a top 20 pick in the NFL draft. Maybe the team saw the Jones fractures and they didn't want to partake in what could be with Johnny Newton, but everybody was anticipating that guy going in the top 25 of the NFL draft. Washington gets a steal there, and I'm excited to see him go. You're not probably ever going to hear the name Fedarian Mathis all camp. Injuries have already started. So first things first, not for Washington though. The first most important thing about training camp is the team making it through camp healthy. The New York Giants, if you watch Hard Knocks in their offseason version, they really were high on, Jermaine Illuminor. Walked into the building. He got carted off the field, left hand on his ribs, stomach the entire walk. He took a big shot to the ribs from Dexter Lawrence. So first day of Giants camp, one of their prize free agents already got hurt. You didn't hear any of that from Washington camp. So day one was a win already, just because everybody made it through the day healthy. And Terry McLaurin spoke to the media, Jonathan Allen, a couple guys after practice. JP Finley was here quoting them. There's no favoritism. There's no, oh, you did this last year. You can feel that juice. Everything that comes out like that is going to feel like a shot to the last crew. I don't even think necessarily it's a shot to the last crew. It's more so things are just being done right. There's a level of professionalism, decorum, and just doing shit correctly now. And that's all you're going to get really from day one of training camp. You're not going to get too much. You got Jayden here throwing the ball into the net. The accuracy is A1. We already know what the accuracy is like. You really don't see any negative reports coming out from day one about the rookie quarterback. You love to see it. All heaping praises on the guy. And we're getting honesty and transparency from the coaches. You're looking at Jayden walk out from practice with handsome ass Sam Hartman. You love to see the aura in the QB room. Do not fret or do not panic about Mariota taking the early first snaps of team drills on the first day of training camp. Y'all know what the vibes are, but that's all I got for the first day of Washington Commanders training camp. Jayden looked good. Mariota took the first snaps, and Jer'Zhan, Johnny Newton's second round pick, number 36 overall, was cleared off the NFI list. F.A. Obata pushed to the PUP list, and we're on to day 2 of Washington Commanders training camp. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders. Commander Rio, out.